everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome to another video. Today, I am super excited. We are hiring an RV inspector today to see if our new motorhome gets a clean bill of health. And in my opinion, in the Tampa area, in the Central Florida area, there's no better RV inspector than our friend, Inspector Rob. Rob, what's going on?
Not too much, man. How you doing, Matt?
Good, good. So this video is all about RV inspections. So as you guys know, if you've ever bought an RV or done research on an inspector, RV inspections range anywhere from $500 on a very low end up to $1,500 on like a 45-foot Prevost bus. So as an RV inspector, what exactly do you do?
Well, we do something pretty similar to what you would get with a home inspection, but a little bit more because it's a home kind of moving down the road.
Okay.
You know? So we're gonna go over all the systems like you would in a home inspection.
Okay.
But you have a little bit more. You have the engine, the chassis, the roof, slide outs. You have a 120 volt electrical system. You have 3 different electrical systems running through the RV, 12 volt systems. Sometimes it could be, there's a new 48 volt system that I just discovered.
Yep.
Your water, make sure your water's running, make sure your propane is good, you're not leaking propane.
Yeah.
We do a specific test on that.
Speaking of, have you heard about the new recall going on with the propane?
Yes.
So what's going on with that exactly?
Well, as far as I know, there's a recall. I believe it's like 5 different manufacturers.
Yes.
And I guess the brass fittings are, as soon as they torque, they crack.
Yeah.
And you're getting a propane leak and a possible fire issue, which is a life safety issue.
Right.
And they haven't announced it to the public yet.
Okay.
Or the dealers.
Right.
Not till July 1st.
Yes.
So I've notified all my previous customers that I've had within those years, because it's a 2021, 2022 year
nice.
timeframe. So I've done that. For the most part, 2 of them said they already knew about it, and you know they were not on the list.
Good. The
other one is checking to see.
Okay.
And I guess they won't know for sure until July 1st.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. So, yeah, you're telling us you're checking the propane tanks, the water lines, the roof. You're checking for delamination. What are some like key points that an RV inspector's looking at that you're going to see that a customer might not see when purchasing an RV, both new and used?
I would say, well, we get up on the roof.
Okay.
You know, you're gonna see something that may seem kind of, you're looking at it, oh, that's just a little crack right there. You'd be surprised, just a little crack in the right spot, gets water in, builds up, and then you have a $2,000 repair a couple months down the road. It could even be longer than that.
Right.
Something like that, as a regular lay person, I probably would have looked at it and been like, oh, that's just a small little crack in the sealant.
Yep.
No big deal. I'll get to it whenever, you know. But
not only that, like a regular person might not have even seen that, and you as an inspector, you're gonna go through everything to make sure that none of that stuff's there.
Yeah, yeah. And I think one of the things too that people don't realize is the hot skin test that we do.
What's that?
And what that is we do a hot skin is we use the pedestal as a ground with a voltmeter to check if you have any hot skin. And what that is like if a screw gets screwed into a wall and it happens to run through a wire.
Okay, yep.
Then all of a sudden the RV becomes electrified.
Oh, wow.
And you end up becoming the ground when you touch a piece of metal.
Yeah.
On any part of the RV, the frame, the door, anything metal on the RV.
Wow.
So we check for that, make sure nothing's over 5 volts. Anything over 5 volts is considered a life safety issue.
Yep.
40 volts penetrates the skin.
Okay.
So, but we go on the safe side. Anything over 5 volts, hey, you definitely we got something going on here.
Yeah, and something can start off as very low and then work its way up, right?
Oh yeah.
As over time, more contact is being made and higher the volts could happen over time.
Well, the RV's moving down the road too.
Yep. Yep.
So it got into a wire. It's only reading
20
8 volts.
8. Okay.
I had one that was 8 volts on just one side.
No big deal right now, but
Well,
it definitely could.
It was
right?
over 5 volts. So
Right. So
know.
big deal for Rob. Okay, Rob, long day. You did a great job checking out the RV.
Oh, thanks.
And let me tell you guys something. It is worth the money, especially if you live in Florida, for how hot it gets. And there is no cool season for you. You know what I'm saying?
No, not unless you were doing.
Now, out of all the days, was today the hottest, or have you worked hotter days?
Oh man, today was like so cool. Yeah, it's been a lot hotter.
Okay. The verdict's in. Rob, how did we do?
Not bad.
Okay.
Got some sealant missing
On the roof.
on the roof. We got some brackets for your black tank. Bolts need to be tightened.
That's not good. Okay.
We got some air that needs to go in your tires.
A little air never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And?
And that was pretty much it.
Didn't you say something about the water pump?
The water heater.
Okay.
Okay, the latching mechanism
Got
needs
it.
to be replaced.
No problem. We are headed to Indiana. We will be getting a Furrion tankless water heater. But these are little things that Rob found on my unit that is brand new, that when you hire an inspector, you then give to any dealership in the country, and they're going to make sure that they touch up on all those things on pickup day or before pickup day.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. It gives credibility to the person to have the dealer fix these things before you get it.
Yep.
And the other thing that I don't know if a lot of people know that we do is we look for any recalls. I don't know if every inspector does that.
Okay.
We do that with the refrigerator units as well.
Okay.
Because there are recalls with Norcold, and there's a specific website for Norcold Dometic fridges.
Wow.
Where we can get information for recalls on that. But I do specifically, I don't know if everybody does it, I think everybody should, is look up for any recalls on the unit. So if there is, the customer can be aware, and then the dealer can make sure that they're taking care of that.
Right.
Because I've had this isn't a knock on a dealer, but
Right.
I've had a dealer say, oh yeah, I know about that. And then the customer called me later like, yeah, they just told me about because I'm like to the customer, did you know that there was a recall on this particular chassis?
Yep.
And they were like, well, yeah, the dealer didn't tell me, but they did now after I mentioned it. So
There you go.
It
And
happens.
no knock on dealerships.
Right.
It's one of those things where dealers have 99 problems and one recall. Truthfully, they're not going to remember. But that's why an independent third party always makes a difference. Now, you don't just tell me this report. You have a very, unlike a home inspection where they just say, hey, home inspection's good, or hey, needs new roof. As you guys saw when he was out there, he was taking tons and tons of pictures. How many pictures do you take in a report? How long is a report? Tell us what somebody gets at the very end once everything's done.
Okay, first of all, I'm just going to say after the inspection's done,
Okay.
I always make a phone call to the customer just to kind of hit the deep points
To
right
talk
off the
about,
bat,
yep, okay.
verbally.
Yes.
And then I might not remember every little thing, but just to hit the hard points, the most important points. And then probably the least amount of pictures I've ever taken is 500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
What the what?
And you'd
Like,
be
dude, I'm thinking
what the
like
hell is he taking
50
pictures
to
of?
70. So the least amount's been 500?
Yeah, that I take personally.
Okay.
Okay, that's not going to be all in the report.
Okay.
But I'm making sure that I'm getting every angle that I can, so that I can. Because sometimes.
Rob, you're taking more pictures than a 13-year-old girl on Instagram.
Yeah, we want to. you know, it's very important to us on the report that the customer can understand, like, what am I telling you, and show them very good in that picture.
Okay.
So, like, the first picture you take of, like, cracking the sealant, it might not come out that great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm taking like 4 or 5 pictures around this thing, and there's been instances where I've seen the cracking, and then I looked at the picture, and
You
then I
didn't
see
see it.
even more.
Oh, you saw even more. Yeah.
Yeah, in a very vital area.
Yep.
That's happened to me a few times.
Good. So when somebody gets a report, they're not getting all 500 pictures.
No.
How long's the report, and about how many pictures are they getting?
So they're getting your home inspection checklist that you would get, but you're also getting, on average, 80 to 100 pictures, to be honest,
Okay.
Matt. Sometimes I don't think I'm even putting that many in there, and then when I go through the report, I'm like, wow, yeah, there's 90 to 100 pictures here. And I think that's very important for somebody to be able to understand, like, you know, what is he talking about here?
Right.
You know?
Right. Because so for an example, you could be talking about, you know, top corner lumbar support in the coagulating thing,
Right,
and people are all like, what the heck does that mean? But then you show the actual picture of it afterwards.
Yeah, the picture of it and a close-up picture, you know,
I love it.
with arrows pointing to it, and sometimes a little bit of dialogue on
I love
the
it.
picture.
It's
so
important.
that they can be, you know, it's clear. And also when there's a neat little feature where you can make a list on the program we use.
Okay.
That the customer can make up a list and give it to the dealer,
Yeah.
so that the technicians at the dealership can have an easier time looking at this too, and being like, okay,
Yep.
this is a lot easier for me. I see the picture, I see the arrows, I see the explanation.
Yep.
Pretty
So
easy.
great point. Not only that, so you're giving it to the dealer. So on pickup day, if it's not perfect, you can say, well, hey, I gave you this list. And then they're all like, oh, well, you didn't give us the list. And that's kind of like your proof. And it's just like, not only that, to have all those details as well, it's just peace of mind on pickup day.
It is the customer's responsibility to give it to the dealer.
Yep.
Because they're hiring us.
Yep.
So unless the customer wants to do that, you know, we're not going to do that because it's their report.
Oh, yeah, no, but a customer 100%. I mean, it's just the paper trail.
Right.
It's just the paper trail. It's important, guys. You're about to spend $50, $100, $200,000, and it's just really important to have a paper trail, to hire an independent third party. And then for those of you guys who are wondering, Inspector Rob, he is a
NRVIA
inspector.
inspector.
And if you guys live in Tampa, Ocala, Orlando, anywhere, Sarasota, anywhere around there, guys, we've had Rob's email on the screen the whole time, and his contact info, his phone number, his email. Or if you guys live anywhere in the country, we always recommend what type of inspector?
An NRVIA inspector.
Yes, and we will link their website down below. You guys can then type in your zip code, and it's going to give you a list of all the different inspectors that are in the area. Always shop around Always shop around inspectors.
No, I encourage, actually.
Yep.
When people call me and they're like 500 miles away, I recommend, you know, go on the NRVIA website. They have a map locator. Find somebody that you're comfortable with.
Yep.
I've had a few people like that, and they were happy with that.
Yep. So find somebody, shop around, and hire an inspector, because if we would have done that, we would have had these things taken care of before we left the dealership. Rob, thank you so much for being on the program and inspecting our RV today. I would like to add, Rob didn't charge us today. Thank you, Rob. But Rob also didn't pay us to be on the show. He is a family friend of Matt's RV Reviews, so he did this for us, and obviously we're promoting him. I do have to legally say that on the film, Rob. Anything you want to say to America?
I just want to thank everyone that's requested a inspection. I appreciate that. I really enjoy helping people make good on their investment, you know, because it's really, when it comes down to it, it's really about you guys. You know, there are issues with RVs, brand new ones, and we want to make sure you're safe. Your first time, we want to make sure that you're good to go, the best the best level that you can be when you first start, especially first time RVers, you know. But I mean, everyone, but yeah, you know, we want to make sure everyone is in their best position that they can be.
Perfect. Well, Rob, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And guys, leave down in the comments below. Let us know if you think Rob should be on the program again. Rob, I don't know how we'll have you on the program again, but you know what we'll do? If we get 500 thumbs up button, we will go to a dealership and look at used RVs together. And what we'll do, we'll make a video about what to spot when shopping for a used RV from an inspector's point of view. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with an all-new RV review.
Boom.